Verse of the day. Proverbs chapter 28 verses 24. He who robs his father or mother and says it's not wrong, he is partner to him who destroys. The Gospel according to Matthew chapter 16. Some Pharisees and Sadducees who came to Jesus wanted to trap him, so they asked him to perform a miracle for them to show that God approved of him. But Jesus answered, when the sun is setting, you say, we are going to have fine weather, because the sky is red, and early in the morning you say, it is going to rain, because the sky is red and dark. You can predict the weather by looking at the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs concerning these times. How evil and godless are the people of this day! You ask me for a miracle. No, the only miracle you will be given is the miracle of Jonah. So he left them and went away. When the disciples crossed over to the other side of the lake, they forgot to take any bread. Jesus said to them, take care, be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees. They started discussing among themselves. He says this because we didn't bring any bread. Jesus knew what they were saying, so he asked them, why are you discussing among yourselves about not having any bread? How little faith you have! Don't you understand yet? Don't you remember when I broke the 5 loaves of the 5,000 men? How many baskets did you fill? And what about the 7 loaves for the 4,000 men? How many baskets did you fill? How is it that you don't understand that I was not talking to you about bread? Guard yourselves from the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Then the disciples understood that he was not warning them to guard themselves from the yeast used by the bread, but from the teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Jesus went to the territory near the town of Caesar Philippi, where he asked his disciples, who do people say the Son of Man is? Some say John the Baptist, they answered. Others say Elijah, while others say Jeremiah or some other prophet. What about you? He asked them, who do you say I am? Simon Peter answered, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Good for you, Simon, son of John, answered Jesus. For this truth did not come to you from any human being, but it was given to you directly by my Father in heaven. And so I tell you, Peter, you are a rock, and on this rock foundation I will build my church, and not even death will ever be able to overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of the heaven, and what you prohibit on earth will be prohibited in heaven, and what you permit on earth will be permitted in heaven. Then Jesus ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. From that time on, Jesus began to say plainly to his disciples, I must go to Jerusalem and suffer much from the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law. I will be put to death, but 3 days later I will be raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. God forbid it, Lord, he said, that must never happen to you. Jesus turned around and said to Peter, get away from me, Satan. You are an obstacle in my way, because these thoughts of yours don't come from God, but from man. Then Jesus said to the disciples, if anyone wants to come with me, he must forget self, carry his cross, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his own life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Will a person gain anything if he wins the whole world but loses his life? Of course not. There is nothing he can give to regain his life. For the Son of Man is about to come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he will reward each one according to his deeds. I assure you that there are some here who will not die until they have seen the Son of Man come as King. Amen.